This was a good one. Now, this is what I've been actually waiting for. This is what I was sitting around so patiently. I said, trust the process when it comes to Brother Ryan. Trust the process. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Grotesquerie. This is season 1, episode 7. Listen, trust the process. You have to do it with Ryan Murphy. You just got to trust the process. He'll actually get to what it is that you are waiting for. And I was waiting for all this good action, all this good, and he gave me exactly what I needed. I was so excited. I was so on the edge of my seat. And I made a mistake. I made a mistake in my last review. There's actually 10 episodes altogether, not 8. So we got 3 more to go. Bring them on. Bring them on. Listen, we come in here. We got Murray and Fast Eddie and Lois sitting at the table. How did I know that at some point there was going to be some type of old nasty piece of love triangle going on between these 3 people? And baby, listen, Lois was pissed. She was drunk. She was pissed off. She was pissy drunk. And she just wasn't having. She said, I had him in my mouth. I said, oh. He said, that's a lie, Lois. You're drunk. I said, Fast Eddie, you was fast. Y'all was on a whole thing. Y'all was dating. Like y'all had a whole relations and relationship building going on. So what did you talk about? And then she said, do you enjoy my daughter's folds? I said, oh, that was rude, honey. That was rude. Given, honey, she's fat, honey. Do you enjoy filtering through all her fat to get to her pink hole, honey? I said, oh, she was doing the most, just dragging, just dragging. And then talked about, she said, when you took me to that AA meeting, that was the worst first date I ever been on. And that fool told her that wasn't a date. It was a nudge in the right direction. I was trying to help you out. I'm like, was you at the same meeting that we was at? My love, that was a date. I was like, Fast Eddie making me mad. I'm starting not to like Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie playing games. You have to make me mad. So okay. She told him, there's one thing you can't do, pretty little white boy, and that's gaslight a black woman because we know too much. She literally let them have it. Him and Mary at that table. And then she went stomping on out of there, child, just as drunk. I said, look at her, honey. Just as tore up. Next thing we see, we got Lois and red shoes. Nurse, the red shoes, nurse, red heels. Her boss. Baby, I said, oh my. So whatever those feelings were that she had went through with the whole love triangle thing and the blow up in her face, baby, it pushed her on to the next things that she was going to do. And it was really all in the name of get back. She said, really? Y'all gonna hurt my feelings? I'm not gonna be the only one with her feelings. Trust. I said, oh, okay, come on, honey. Baby, that Lois told him, honey, she said, red shoes in there crying and carrying on. She said, I'm large and I'm the head bitch in charge. Shut your mouth. Honey, she said, I just can't believe we're here and this is going to shut your mouth. She said, I'm taking him off the life support. I said, baby, she got you and Mary, honey. She's getting ready to make you both cry. I said, girl, it's about time you start fighting back. It's about time you start fighting back, my love. Come on here. Come on here. And the man was like, well, do you know if that's where I should take him off? I was like, okay. Moving right along, baby. Then the next thing you know, we got her sitting there. We got red shoes and Lois sitting there. Baby, they were pulling the plug. They said red shoe. And she said, isn't this something, honey? They sent you in there. They sent you in there to pull his plug. Ain't that something? Kismet. I told her, she said, I'm going to let him go out. She said, have some decorum, this, that, and this. She said, no, baby, I'm taking him out the way that it should be done, baby, with some poetry and some brown liquor. She drinking liquor and reading poetry out of a book to him. And I mean, the way she was reading it, I said, girl, this is not. Girl, this ain't giving spoken word. Girl, this giving talking out of money like you was trying to just irritate him till he just died. I said, oh, God. She said it. She's like, why is this taking so long? And as you see him go, and then his vitals is starting to give out. And then she took the book, honey, and threw it down in his chest, honey. So, that's it. That's all. It's done. And told girlfriend, she said, honey, you know, you're the one that he loved. I'm sorry for you. And she told her, that's all I got for you. That's all I got for you. And went on up out of here. I said, okay, honey. And then told him when she threw the book down in his chest, she said, I forgive you, pal. And then did a shot, baby, and marched on out of there. I said, oh, not pal, P-A-L, pal. I forgive you, pal. And went on up out of there. I said, boy, she's a bitch, honey. So we end up seeing like they're like celebrating because when she pulled the mask back, it was actually Father Charlie who was trying to slit her throat, who she took on out. And so he's the one that's blamed for all the murders and all of that. And that's that. The next thing you know, we see it's in the newspaper. It's in their little column. His face plastered all on it. The sister is now being asked to keep the column going. And at first she was hesitant. And she's like, well, I don't know. And, you know, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just seemed like so much so much negativity wrapped around the church and this, that, and the other. And they're like, no, the numbers and people are coming back to the church. And she switched over just like that. I said, and then she started making demands. I want this, I want that, and I want this, and I want full, you know, she wanted full command over this, that, thing, and the other. And I said, wow, okay. And they said, yeah, girl, whatever, just keep on, keep the numbers coming, keep the people coming. Keep the people coming on in here. We don't give a shit. It's all about numbers and, you know, church is business. So that was that. Then we actually see Lois and the chief. And the chief tells her, I'm not asking you to retire, Lois, because I'm telling you, you can't pass this up. You're going to get $146,000 and your pension, plus you'll have Marshall's pension. You're going to be set for the rest of your life. But this is how it's going to have to be. We're not even accepting that you're out of here. You're basically out of here. You know, all of this. She's like, no, I mean, I solved the case. Nobody else could do it. This, that, and the other. I want to reopen some of my other cases. I want to go through all my other cases and see if there's something that I missed. Like, it was like she was recharging batteries were recharged. She's starting to get herself cleaned up. She didn't even drink the liquor at the party. They gave her wine. She didn't even want it. It's like her battery got recharged. Okay. So that was that. Then we actually end up seeing Sister and Lois together. And this is when it got very, very interesting. Sister running around there. She got these Louboutins, and she's stambling around. I said, "Well, she can't walk in them damn shoes." But she walking around doing this, that, and the other. And you know, like she has become pretty much a little success. And like she is really like a celebrity down to the church now. She is taking the Father's place. And Lois is cooking. She has a big stock pot and she's cooking some type of stew or whatever. And the nun is walking around. She's eating like carrots and whatever. And she's just listening to Lois. She's getting real irritated. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is Lois saying what I'm thinking she's saying? Basically, Lois was basically telling her, I don't even believe that everything was all Father Charlie. I believe Father Charlie had an accomplice and different things like that. And she was steady wrapping it around. I was like, oh, Lois. And I'm waiting. And I'm like, is there like some cops or something around here? You know, what's going on? But I mean, you know, the nurse is like squirrely and all of that. She started talking about how they found things, this, that, thing, and the other, and that Father Charlie didn't have all of the know-how to actually execute the murders the way in which they were executed. But it really seems as though she did. And then she told her, she said, you know, the whole thing about you being shot, but not really getting hit where anything would be really damaged, it all seemed like theatrics to me. And that's what she told her. She said, are you okay, Lois? Are you drunk? She said, nope. No, I'm not. And Lois was like, honey, are you okay? She said, Lois, are you okay? She said, girl, you got these Louboutins on now, honey. She was reading her down in a very subtle, it was a subtle, nice, nasty giving girl, I see you, bitch. And she finally gets on around and she told her, she said, an accomplice, he needed an accomplice. And this one I was like, girl, it's getting to be too much, honey. And she was starting to give old girl from with the rabbit in the pot, Glenn Close. She had the knife, that old nervous tick, hitting her leg with the knife, cutting her own leg with the knife. She had the butcher knife in her hand. And I was like, you better watch her. Girl, she got a butcher knife in her hand, honey. And she said that she was getting more and more irritated. They kept zooming in on her face. I said, girl, she's guilty as charged, honey. She is guilty, Lois. I said, where are the backups? Who's going to come in? Where are the people, honey? Because something get ready to go left. Baby, she told her, she said, you would be the perfect person. She said, a Manson girl, a Twiggy sidekick, a cartoon character of sorts, and Christ on a cracker. I said, no, she didn't. I said, girl, no, you ain't making fun of her and dragging her out. Baby, I think that took it over when she called that bitch a cartoon character of sorts, honey. She said, blasphemy, honey. Girl, she took that butter and that butcher knife and said, God! I said, uh-huh. I said, girl, got her, honey. Baby, them two got the rumbling and going on, baby, and they was getting it. I mean, it was a whole Kill Bill. So I said, this is what I've been waiting on, honey. They was rumbling. You hear me? They was getting it. This one getting something, that one getting something. Hey, it was, I don't know, it just wasn't looking good, honey, because the nun, she's strong because she's crazy, child. And at one point, baby, she took that stock pot full of that hot shit and poured it all on her head. And then took the stock pot and gave her. I said, oh, shit. I said, girl, that had to hurt, honey. She done burned you and then bust you in your face with a hot stock pot. I got a stock pot. I love that pot. Child, but that pot holds a lot of liquid. It holds a lot of liquid. I said, girl, she set you on fire and then bashed you with it, girl. And if you got a good stockpot, mine ain't cheap, honey. I got a good stockpot, honey. You give somebody a good honey with it, with that pot. She fucked her up, honey. I said, oh gosh, she got her. But all in all, she ended up stabbing her, getting her all in the back and everything, honey. And the gun was sliding out. They was pulling each other back around. They fought for a good long time. Maybe they fought through 2 commercial breaks. You hear me? I said, this is some good shit here. Kill Bill all the way. But she basically had killed Lois, honey. She got Lois. And the next thing you know, well, she looked like she was dead. The next thing you know, the story flips. The complete story flipped. And the characters got switched around, and you're kind of seeing things from a different point of vantage point. And next thing you know, Lois done slept with Fast Eddie, but Fast Eddie is married to Marie, and it was Lois that was actually on life support and not Marshall. I said, oh, Ryan done did one of them on us. Because, I mean, a lot of this, I kept saying, are these dreams? How these things were everything flipped. It basically looked like everything we've seen thus far was all from the mind of Lois, but Lois is actually in a induced coma. Mary is just upset with Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie is in love with Lois, and she ends up telling the father, and the father got mad, baby, and went in there, and then he had the meeting and told the guy that runs the place, I'm pulling her off the life support. Went up in there, baby, and was mean as hell. He was just as mean, well, he was meaner than when Lois was. He told her, listen, they said that you was a vegetable, but I hope you are in there, and I hope you can hear me. And I'm telling you, good night. I hope you experience fear is over. I said, baby. Here it was. Sister Megan is actually the chief. She's actually Lois's boss, and Pastor Charlie is actually the doctor. He's actually a doctor. He's the doctor who's helping, and the redhead, she's not a nurse. She actually is the widow. She's actually not the widow, but the actual the Jezebel who Marshall is cheating around with. But they ain't really even getting along. And she's ended up walking off, leaving him. And he's just pitiful. His life is a mess. Mary's is a mess with Fast Eddie. And she actually is like an accomplished working woman. She's an accomplished corporate woman. And as I said, wow, I mean, everything was so different than what we actually have been seeing. And then it flashes back in where she didn't actually kill. We go right back into the mind of Lois. We see her coming back in. It was like she had died, like she died. We see her coming back in, and we see her floating up away from her body. And then we see her coming back in, and we hear her daughter. When they pulled the plug on her, and we see her coming back down. Because she ends up floating up. They pull the plug. She come back down. The father wouldn't let any of the people come in. Wouldn't let Fast Eddie come in to see Lois. Wouldn't let the chief come with the chief, which is actually Sister Megan. Wouldn't let them come in to see Lois. Basically keeping everybody away. Mary is literally fighting with her dad about it, like telling her she loves her and all of this kind of stuff. So she's coming back from the other side, baby, and it goes back into where we were with the whole fight with her and Sister Megan, honey. And the both of them is laying on the floor because they get to fighting again. She actually didn't kill her. She wasn't killed. They had another little piece of the struggle, baby. And she ended up getting her gun, and her and Sister Megan laying there because she laid there for a minute and got a little bit of strength with her, baby, and them damn Louboutins, when she told her the Louboutins wasn't for her anyway. She cracked her so hard in her ankle with the butt of that damn gun and knocked her down. She hit her head real hard and her head was bleeding out. And then she ended up getting the gun and she pulled herself and she sat up against the cabinets, honey. And Sister got up there, honey, and what? No, girl, it's too late. She had that gun facing her. She said something to her. I rolled it back. I couldn't hear exactly what she said to her, but I know that old crazy ass nun that Sister Megan said. Hey, she said, oh no. And she said, amen. She blew her head off. Blew her head off. There wasn't nothing but a little piece of her neck sitting over there. I said, girl, she tore you up, honey. So that's kind of where we ended out at. I said, I don't know. I'm so confused. I am so confused about where we are. We are in between two sets and two sides of the story. Now I don't know who's who, what was real, what wasn't real. It is just a bunch of confusion and conflama, but I don't know. But I'm so excited. I'm just loving it. I am loving it. I cannot wait to watch the next episode to see where are we? Where are we? Who's dead for real? Who's not dead? What was real? What wasn't real? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's just mass confusion. Nothing makes any sense. And I'm here for all of it. Listen, I'm going to see y'all. We got 3 more episodes. 3 more. Thank goodness. I would just die if we actually only had 1 more left. So I can't wait until I watch the next episode and see what is what. Listen, I'm excited all over again, like we're back at the beginning. Are y'all? Are y'all excited like we're back at the beginning again? I know I am. Let me go so I can see this next episode. I'll be back with y'all very shortly. All right, have a good one, you all. Trust the process.